home edition of Extra Butter. The last big action movie to open on a big screen is now yours to enjoy on your various size screens. Vin Diesel is very Vin Diesel-y as he drops by to talk about Bloodshot. Do you need hope, redemption, and a positive message during these uncertain times? Then what better way to get it than a movie with the guy from Riverdale? KJ Apa joins us to talk about I Still Believe. And Star Wars Rise of Skywalker now added to Disney+. There's really no need to leave your home anyway. Maybe you don't want to leave your home anyway. Regardless, let's get this started with Extra Butter. And how are you doing staying at home? Hey, where are you watching from, by the way? That is one of my favorite underrated world cities. I'm so glad you're watching there. What's your name again? Oh my God, that's one of my favorite names too. All right, let's get to talking about what's new at the movies this week. And by that, I mean what you can watch new at home. This is kind of a historic moment because the very last movie to open up the way the world used to be was Bloodshot, based on the dark novel with Vin Diesel. And in fact, it's one of the last one-on-one interviews I did where I could actually reach out and shake someone's hand. Though I didn't, just in case. Vin and I talked about this and in a more pleasant time, a more pleasant place to be. Take a look. I like the loop in this. You do at a moment touch on a vacation that your character's happening. Sure. So if you were to go on a loop right now, what's the best vacation day ever that you mind? You would love to have looped.
Oh my
that you
God.
could go back to forever.
There's so many. I will say, Mark, I am grateful to be able to say this. My loop would be a collage of many moments.
Well, that's a blessed life then.
That's a blessed life.
Probably something with the kids.
Ocean with the kids. Water and the kids. Seeing, each time I see my child swim free in the ocean is something that, and any parent will tell you, the day that their child can swim in a world that's mostly water is a liberating day as a parent. But those moments in the water, in the ocean, with the children are magic, and I would loop that forever.
I really liked the movie. It's a bit disposable, but it's the kind of thing we need when we're burning through content right about this time. So Bloodshot, now streaming on pretty much every server you could possibly want, Blu-ray and DVD. All right, the big news, Star Wars Episode 9, the final installment of the trilogy that became a sixogy, now a nineogy. Rise of Skywalker heads your way with all kinds of options and, of course, streaming on Disney+. We'll go behind the scenes with the entire cast and crew, including Daisy Ridley joining us, socially distanced, next.
Star Wars. It means family. The emotion of it all. Making a film with people that you really love. And this is the last one. Like, it's crazy.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look at my friends.
And welcome back to Extra Butter at Home, and what an exciting Extra Butter at Home it is when we're talking about Star Wars Week. And by that, I mean, I'm still hungover from May the 4th Be With You Day. How did you celebrate? That is an awesome way to celebrate. How did I celebrate? Reminisce about last year when things were a little bit more normal, and I got to hang out with the entire cast and crew to talk about it, including Ray herself, Daisy Ridley. Take a look. Lovely to see you again.
Thank you. Lovely to see you.
One of the most refreshing things, I think you're an amazing human being to begin with, but
thank
one
you.
of the most endearing things that I noticed about you, D23, I noticed you getting kind of geeked out about the celebrities around you.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, I was stood next to Angelina Jolie.
So what's the non-Star Wars thing that you most geek out about seeing around here? Disney.
I mean, Angelina Jolie is next to me, as is, like, I saw her hugging Emily Blunt, and then I saw The Rock, and I saw Tina Fey and Jamie Foxx, like, those people.
And then it was cool because Chris Pratt, I'd played a game with him. When we were doing Orient Express, we did like game nights every weekend.
Yeah.
So Chris Pratt came, but obviously then I'm like, why would Chris Pratt remember me? And he was like, hey, Daisy. I'm like, oh, I'm like in the thing. I know people at these things. Yes, it was great.
I don't know whether I want to laugh at some of my favorite moments of this movie or cry because it's technically the end of this franchise, or at least this saga.
this saga, and that's fine. So let's be proud of it, and let's put it on the shelf and get it down every time we want to relive it.
Got it. So for you, this has to mean a tremendous amount. I mean, this has been the bulk of your life now.
It has. It really has, 43 years. And I'm so proud that I've reached this moment, so proud that I've been in all of them, and so proud that the saga is so great as it is, and what a final terrific ending this film is.
If you can identify a moment or a day where you honored the 8-year-old J.J. Abrams, that could not be a bigger fan of this movie.
I was 10 when Star Wars came out, so when I was 8, I wouldn't have even known of Star Wars.
Okay,
so in fairness, I'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm 8. I'm
thought
8
you were
over
younger,
here.
sorry.
But when I was 10, I will be honest with you, there were, I don't really remember many days on this movie that didn't. And I say that because when you are making a Star Wars movie, every day there's an unbelievable reminder that you're doing the impossible, that you're working on something that you never in your life dreamed you would actually get to be part of. Whether it's a costume design, whether it is a droid that suddenly is alive and being, operated. You're constantly being reminded that this is not just a film. This is both, a responsibility, a job, a passion, and also impossibly a sort of childhood dream.
Roll cameras.
If you're a kid watching this 100 years from now, 500 years from now,
Sound speed.
you see this inevitability, this story conclude in a way that feels thrilling and shocking and funny and emotional and satisfying.
I like these films.
I think there's a legacy that's important.
Ready, set, and camera. Take 9.
Episode 9 will be a conclusion of a story that is over 40 years in the making.
Action.
So all stops are out, and it's all go.
And with that, it's official. All 9 movies are now streaming on Disney+. And of course, you can get episode 9 on beautiful, glorious Blu-ray DVD. That's how geeked out I am. I was on the news back in 1977 because I had the world's largest Star Wars collection. Keep in mind, the movie had only been out a couple weeks, so none of the toys were even available. If you like Star Wars, go to Extra Butter TV. If you're not there already, like and subscribe. I've got some interviews never seen before in the Star Wars universe. Enough of Star Wars already. I know you're not all geeked out. Some of you need motivation. I still believe we'll do that. We'll show you how next. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter TV at home, because I'm at home and you're at home. You know who else is at home? Kelly Savanna Deaton. Kelly Savanna Deaton, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Awesome. So Kelly and I have been talking about movies going on a couple of years. You used to be on the show we did on Reels Channel Network. Now we're on AFN, 168 countries worldwide. And by the way, shout out to the troops, our first responders as well.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for watching. I feel bad they have to put up with us, Mark. That's so sad.
Well, at least this week we bring something motivational. Segue into I Still Believe. Now, look, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but you're probably not the first person that's going to be going to church. Am I right?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I have never. Yes. No, you're right. And here's the thing, is I believe in spirituality, and I don't take away from anyone else that does go to church. I think that's very lovely. However, typically I don't like faith-based movies, and that's what I Still Believe is. But overall, what drew me to it is it's a great movie. It's a great love story, so that can get you in there first. And then there is faith-based things, obviously, but it's not thrown in your face, and I think that's why it's so good.
And that's exactly what I was going to touch on, because I'm in church three times an hour to confess for sins and to ask for forgiveness and to hope that everything's going to be okay. And I know that sometimes these faith-based movies, they preach to the choir. This is the kind of movie that's going to pull in the likes of you, pull in everybody at a time when we need it most.
Exactly. And I mean, come on, a good love story. And it has hope. Everyone needs a lot of hope right now and a lot of faith, I think. And the cast is incredible.
Yeah, where do you know KJ Apa from?
Riverdale. He's the hottie
course.
from Riverdale. Everyone knows who he is with his bright red hair. But in this, he has a very different look.
Yeah, it's so funny. I sat down with KJ and Britt to talk about his look, the fact that the real character that he plays in the movie got upgraded a little bit, and to talk about the most romantic scene. Take a look. There's so many moments that I want to get into that there's no way we can get into it on this, so I'm going to let you kind of steer it.
Oh.
20 movies from now, what's the one day on the set or the one take where you, when they said, cut, moving on, you thought, I really felt like I was channeling the good stuff there?
I mean, I think
a lot of the scenes in this movie, I felt like that. I'm not gonna lie.
I felt that. I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm kidding. No, there were there was one moment. You know this. When he has to like sing to me as I'm not doing very well, and he's just gone through not sleeping, and he's exhausted, and I asked for him to sing to me, and I remember the take that we did after coming back from lunch, and it was just like the coolest thing I've ever witnessed. So that, to me, 20 years or movies from now, I'll be like, whoa, that was still the coolest thing I've ever witnessed, just as a bystander.
Cool. And that scene is so raw. I mean, because there's no score. It's pretty much practical sound being captured in the room.
It's just his little voice quaking. Yeah. It's so sweet.
It's so beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah.
So good.
I was terrified also.
It's so good, that scene. It's so good.
Is it terrifying knowing that you're kind of carrying the moment there?
It's just terrifying because there's so much going on for me. There was... In that particular scene, I'm already kind of not as confident with my voice. So having the guitar and singing was one thing, and then to focus on where I was with you was difficult. And then having John right behind, breathing behind the camera.
I know.
His bright blue shirt.
Yeah. It's just as cool.
A little distracting.
So good, it's so good. Yeah, but you made it happen.
Yeah. So every series you do, every movie you do from now on, forever, has its own mojo, its own vibe when cast and crew come together. But as an audience member, I'm feeling this movie, feeling like there must have been just a tremendous positive vibe, and like your character's spirit was channeled throughout. Oh,
that's so nice. I mean, that is exactly what makes the movie, I think, having everybody on that set just being like the kindest, most excited, generous. We're all just trying to make the best movie and tell the story in the best way.
Such a good vibe on set.
Yeah.
Such a good vibe.
It made the movie.
Yeah.
That's
what created the movie.
Scene. Yeah.
The vibe.
Yeah, vibe, energy.
When they set the scene up and I go, oh gosh, a guy's gonna be playing the guitar in the hospital room. I'm not falling for this. Next thing I know, I'm weeping. I'm melting my popcorn with tears.
Yeah, he did an incredible job. And I know he was really nervous about taking on this role for obvious reasons, because Jeremy Csmp is a real person and he wanted this movie to be, he wanted it to honor his late wife's story. So he was so nervous to take this role, and I'm glad he did, because I can't picture anyone else doing it.
Yeah, Kelly, now, have you seen what Jeremy Csmp looks like?
Yes, I have.
Even if you turn back the hands of time, I'm not sure you would end up with Mr. Appa.
No, and I love that you brought that up, not only to KJ, but you brought that up to Jeremy as well, didn't you?
I tried to be delicate. Take a look. You're a good-looking man. Let's go straight to it. You're a good-looking man. But at the same time, as you look on the big screen and you're going, well, I got an upgrade.
No, I totally do. I'm very thankful. Everyone's like, wow, KJ Appa's playing you. I'm like, thank goodness. You know what I mean? That they picked him to play me. So he was incredible. Like, he's become a friend, and he's got a pure sweetheart, and I'm very thankful he played me.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from. Solid point. But don't you think that was a little tad bit rude, Mark? Come on.
Oh, you mean when I said that he got an upgrade in the form of KJ Appa?
Yeah, what if someone said that about you?
I would be, if I could get upgraded to KJ Appa, if I got upgraded to Gilbert Gottfried, I'd be happy.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but give yourself some credit.
Wouldn't you say I Still Believe is something that the world needs right about now?
Oh, 100%. It has, this movie's very sad, but it has a hopeful undertone. And when you leave, you will feel like you just experienced a genuine love story and are full of hope and love. And I think that's what everyone needs right now, for sure.
That's right. And we also need truth in the form of Nurse Emily. Have you heard of Nurse Emily?
Yes, I love her. That girl can rant up a storm, but that's what we need right now. Truth, truth, truth.
Yeah, a month ago, she posted her very first rant. She is now an online sensation, and she's getting her own show. Don't you think she needs her own show?
Oh, 100%. This girl should have already had her own show. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, no kidding. The celebrities are flocking to it. Not unlike the celebrities flocking to you. Where do we find you online?
You can find me at Kelly Savanna Deaton.
Hey, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm going to go try to find a hairstylist.
No, I like the roots. The roots are in. They're in. It's about now.
Bye. See you guys next week.
Oh, look, she's She's really, she's going to get those roots done. All right, if she's going to do that, I'm going to get the gray taken out in just a minute. All right, when we come back, the aforementioned Nurse Emily, internet sensation, joins us to talk about the truth in COVID and also her new show and also movies. When Extra Butter returns. Don't move. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. This lady that I'm talking to right here might be one of my favorite guests on the show ever. Never in the world could we have imagined the world that we're living in right now, so I couldn't have imagined this segment, but it might be one of my favorite ever. You are no stranger to her. If you're on YouTube or Facebook or any social media, she's blowing up. Over 30 million views and even more so if you combine Facebook and YouTube. It is Nurse Emily. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me. This is great. I'm loving it.
So how crazy is this that you post your first video? I mean, some people post thousands before they get any traction. You wake up the next morning and the world knows who you are.
It has been absolutely insane. Not in a million years would I have ever thought that this could possibly happen. Just kind of did it, just thinking, okay, my family will get a kick out of it.
Y'all, I'm a middle-aged woman. And up until today, I have managed to not ever have to do a rant video on Facebook, but apparently today is my day.
I get up the next morning, I look at the count, and I'm like, what just happened?
So when did it turn out that you end up getting your own YouTube show? How did that work out?
Well, I almost blew it right off the bat. Probably about 3 or 4 days after the video came out, I was just getting tons and tons of Facebook messages. So I'm going through them, and one of them says, hey, I'm this producer from Hollywood. We think you're really funny. We're interested. I deleted it because I thought it was just a scam. And then a friend calls and is like, hey, this person is hunting you. She says and I'm like, hey, that's the email that I got. So I return it and we start talking, and it was not a scam. And the next thing I know, I have a producer, I have GoPro cameras that I don't know how to work, and it's been interesting.
There are some upsides to having to wear a mask. First of all, you got your little face covered. I'm sticking my tongue out at you, and you have no idea. Also, if you need a nose job, nobody's gonna know. I think I'm gonna ask him if they can make a longer one so that it'll cover up my turkey waddle.
Talk about celebrities that have joined your show. Who are the favorites that you've had so far?
John Ross Bowie, who was Kripke on Big Bang Theory.
Nice to meet you.
You as well. I told my husband I was going to try to really not fangirl a whole lot, but I'm probably going to fail, so just overlook it because I'm just freaking out.
I am very, very sorry that I'm not Jim Parsons.
He was just hilarious. It was fantastic. And then Troy Evans, who's on Bosch, and he was on ER, China Beach. He's done everything.
Awesome. And are you having fun with this? Like, you're a nurse, but now you have to generate content every day.
I always tell everybody I can talk to a fence post. So this is like the most natural thing in the world for me. It's like, oh, you want me to turn a camera on and talk? Think, okay, let's do this. But it's just been so much fun. It's so out of the zone of anything I would have ever even thought could happen that you can't help but have fun with this. It's been great.
I am telling you, you better get your own show. I mean, I know you have your own YouTube show, but I want you to become the next Oprah. I'm going to champion your cause from here on out for that.
Okay, I am all right with that. So yeah, if anybody's listening that, wants me to be super famous and has that power, let's do that. I'm okay with that.
All right, so now you've landed in my iPhone and on my movie review show. So we got to talk about Nurse Emily's picks for the movies during this time. Give me an option.
A Knight's Tale. It's kind of my go-to if I just want not so much background, but just something I have completely memorized that I love the jokes and everything else. That one's my go-to rainy day movie.
You have struck a nerve with me because I love the way that movie marries music and like classic rock to that environment, the medieval times when you never expect. All right, so A Knight's Tale, give me another one.
The reboot of Jumanji with Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black. Love that movie.
I love that movie. I also love its sequel. Did you love the one with Danny Glover and Danny DeVito when they brought those guys in too?
That was the most unexpected twist, and I loved it. They were hilarious, everybody.
I could have used you. I needed a nurse because every time I catch up with Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson, things happen, including on the set of that movie. Take a look. You guys, I guess this went well, because usually you throw me out of the interview, but this time you did great. Thanks for giving him a break. He's been through a lot.
Come on over.
All
Let's
right,
shake hands.
There you go.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Oh no!
I'm okay.
Again.
Down
Every
goes Frazier.
time.
Thank you, man.
The best
As always.
stuntman in the business.
I thought that this whole Hollywood thing was supposed to be cushy. You take abuse? Man.
I still have trouble turning my head this certain way. Any tips for that, Nurse Emily? Can you help me?
Ice, ibuprofen, you should be good.
You've been awesome to have on the show. I would be remiss if we didn't talk about a couple other things. How can we not only watch you, but also help out nurses?
You can watch me. I have a YouTube show that is, thank God, easy to find. It's youtube.com/Nurse Emily. Thank God they made that easy for me. And then on Facebook, there's Emily Annette Fans. And then all of this funnels into one of the main reasons that I love hooking up with Studio City, who does my show. They've helped me get the word out about a charity group called Nurses House. And they have a website, helpnurses.org. And that is to raise money for nurses who have been hit by COVID-19. So it's impacted a lot of nurses, and that's a lot of days missed that most nurses just can't afford. So they're really filling in the gap there.
Well, you are awesome. All of our frontliners are awesome, and it's National Nurses Month. So thank you, in addition to everything else, on behalf of all of us, for all you do.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Emily. You are awesome. And like I said, it is National Nurses Month, so thank you to all of our nurses and frontliners for all you do each and every day, putting your life on the line for us. We owe you, and we thank you. By the way, if you want Emily's information, I'm going to link it to our information, same as it ever was, on YouTube. Be sure and like and subscribe, Extra Butter TV. All right, until then, that's it. We'll see you next weekend. Be safe, and if I haven't told you lately, wash your hands and your saber.